I want to ask both of you also about a story that I have confirmed is accurate. And it involves something that preceded probably your tenure in the Senate. So I know you probably have no direct knowledge of it, but just theoretically, the fact that post 9/11, we at one point had a program to turn Guantanamo prisoners, the most serious, the most dangerous of the detainees, to try to separate them from the rest of the detainees, put them in a place codenamed Pennylane, where they had mattresses, television, better food, and turn them into double agents and reinsert them. That's a satellite photo of the facility, now abandoned, and reinsert them back into Al-Qaeda, release them to try to get them to be CIA sources within Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, as you know, very hard to penetrate. What do you think, Senator Ayotte? Apparently it has since been abandoned, but what about that 2003, 4, 5, 6 was the time frame of what the CIA was doing?
Well, Andrea, obviously I'm still learning more about what they were doing, and I've only seen the reports. But here's what concerns me. We know we have close to a 29% re-engagement rate from those who have been released from Guantanamo, who we suspect or we know have gotten back in the fight against us. So when I juxtapose that to the CIA actually thinking that they can convert these people, I think it was a very ill-conceived program for them to think that, because these are some very hardcore individuals, and many whom have been released by both administrations have gotten back in to fight us and our allies, unfortunately.
And Senator Casey, what do you say about this?
Well, Andrea, without being exposed to the intelligence that would undergird that kind of a program, or a full recitation of the reasons why our government would engage in that, it's difficult to evaluate. But it has a degree of recklessness to it that I'd be very concerned about. But it did happen a while ago. I think the most important thing we've got to do now, though, is to ensure that wherever we have our interests at stake, whether it's in Afghanistan or anywhere else, that we put in place structures that allow us to have the kind of results that we hope for, and that our fighting men and women have made possible when they provided the kind of sacrifice. And that's why I'm so grateful that Kelly Ayotte is working with me and working with others to ensure that at least in Afghanistan we have a situation where women can not just be full participants in Afghan society, but it can actually be part of the security of the country by way of their work as a police officer, as a member of the Army. And we know that if there's more participation by women in the security of the country, we know that a lot of the children in Afghanistan will be less likely to be radicalized, and therefore more likely to contribute constructively to the future of the country.
It does sound like that intelligence deal is right out of Homeland. Senator Ayotte, before I let you go, what about the reports now that John Kerry, as chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, was the first to initiate that secret back channel to Iran in Oman by initiating it and then following it up, of course, with top-level State Department officials who worked out the deal in private outside of the reach of the allies?
Well, Andrea, obviously, you know, I don't know all the details of Secretary Kerry's contact as a member of the Foreign Relations Committee, but I do have serious reservations about the interim agreement, and I'm concerned that we're letting our foot off the gas on sanctions for very little in return. And I know that this is an issue we're going to take up when we return to Congress, including an announcement recently by Senator Kirk and Senator Menendez to put in really a backstop of sanctions to ensure that the Iranians follow through. But I have real concerns because the agreement as it is doesn't call for the dismantling of centrifuges. Are they going to give up terrorism? What about weaponization? Obviously, the plutonium reactor. There's some significant issues of concern that I know Congress will want to address.
Senator Ayotte and Senator Casey, thanks both very much.